Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share if you should so choose and it resonates. Hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. Also, it's worth mentioning, if you haven't seen it, please check out the Weekly General. It's going to be an interesting week for all of us. Now, for your message this week, when I went into my intuition, what came to me was a cavern, right? So this is the land either side and this is the water there. And it was kind of like what I could see was a scuba diver, and he was really going down like into the depths. And this week the depths represent yourself, right? I know we've still got a while yet before Mars, your ruler, goes into Scorpio, but it is your fellow sign, because Mars actually in the ancient astrology used to rule Scorpio, right? And Scorpio is a very deep sign. This week you could already be feeling the onset of that. This is a real time for you to delve deep into the cavern of yourself. If there's something you've been ignoring, if there is a part of yourself that you have decided not to work on until you're ready, it kind of suggests that this week this is going to come up for you. It may be a challenging week for you, Aries, I have to say. Now, the beauty of Aries energy is you guys are super brave, even in the face of danger. And sometimes our mind can show us, right, or our ego even can say to us it's dangerous to look there, right? So this is about a week. This is a week where you're going to need to delve deep into yourself and have the courage to look, have the courage to observe things that may be challenging, to have the maybe even to have the battle with yourself, to look at the things that you may have been holding back or hiding or suppressing up until now. You need to go into the recesses of yourself this week, Aries, because that's where you're going to find the magic. That's where you're going to find the power. It's also where you are going to uncover or reveal some aspect of yourself that has actually been holding you back or self-sabotaging you in some way, shape or form. I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what your destiny card for the week ahead is. And this week you get the Tree of Life, right? So look at that. I mean, this card is a very deep card and it actually represents the process of creation. If you are an Aries and you're into manifestation work, if you have been trying to manifest something, trying to create something, even trying to complete something, it suggests with the Destiny card that there is this standing in the way. This week, if you do the digging, if you do the work of going into the deepest aspects of yourself, you will find whatever cog it is that isn't turning. You will find whatever part of yourself is holding your, it can take your manifestation to the next level if you free up this internal space, if you allow this part of you to flow. But it means that you're going to have to look where you haven't really dared to up until now. And that doesn't mean that you've shied away from it or you've been cowardly. It just means that you may not have had time. Very often if we've got a lot going on in our lives, we can't then sit and say, right, okay, well, now that I've got all of this going on, I'm going to delve into the recesses of myself and find out what it is that's been holding me back all of these years. Obviously swings and roundabouts. You have to be aware of when you have the time to do it. I just feel that this week the universe is kind of saying to you, there is no more putting it off. There is no more time to hold back. You have to start this process now. Your direction card is the Chariot. Providing you do the work, you make it through, right? This is providing you're ready to meet it head on, you can absolutely do that. For those of you that have been creating something, a blog, a book, a new project, something that you've handmade that you want to sell, ideas for a business, all of that. The Chariot card basically says you're fast approaching the end game, right? You're fast approaching that point where you can start to see those rewards Swords, where you can start to see this thing become manifest, where you can start to see now what it is that it's almost like this week you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but the only way you're going to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel is if you go into the tunnel, right? The tunnel is the end game, so to speak, which is really, really interesting. Very interesting messages. So let's have a look-see at your insight card for the week ahead. Ooh, okay, and he's jumped out, and he is the King of Cups, right? So this is about really doing the work of your emotions. Now, for some of you, because you've got the Chariot and the King of Cups, a water sign male, probably a Cancerian male, is going to feature in some way, shape or form. If you have a friend that is a Cancerian male, check in with them, talk to them, because they may have a vital piece of the information that you're not seeing. They might even be able to give you the perspective that you haven't really looked at, that you haven't really noticed as yet. Now, as an insight card, this is basically saying it is your emotional world this week that you are going to have to pay attention to. And if you follow the emotion, allow it to come up, whatever it is, just allow it to come up, look at it and follow it back to its source, right? Once you have that understanding of, right, this is what, this is what I feel, and you follow it back to its source, you can find the thought or the program or the conditioning or whatever you want to call it that keeps perpetuating a specific cycle. But you've got to be willing to go in there, right? You've got to be willing to go into the deep. I mean, look at that. You got, you've got to be willing to go into the deep. Now, I wish you all an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. I wish you all of the best of success with delving into the depths of who you are. All right, have a good one, Aries. Take care.